This is the Lucky65 V2, which is the main keyboard that I use every day for the past 2 months. I used this to film almost all of my videos in that period, and I'm honestly glad you guys enjoyed the keyboard sounds from it. So today, I thought it would be cool to review it and express my thoughts about it. Just a disclaimer, this is my first time reviewing literally any product, so bear with me. I plan to improve sometime in the future. And also, I bought this keyboard with my own money with no sponsor since this is my first review, but with that, let's start. Now unfortunately, I forgot to record the unboxing, but basically the unboxing experience is pretty much standard. You get everything that you need, like the cable, which honestly I wish was a black cable to match the keyboard, but I just used my old Keytron cable. You also get a keycap puller, and finally the keyboard itself. It comes with 2 free switches to attach the plate to the PCB, which I personally use the switches for the spacebar and backspace. Speaking of switches, this video will include my main switches, which is the lubed KTT Kang whites from a year ago, when I built my first keyboard, which was the GMK67. I've also been using this GMK Japanese clone Daisa PPT keycaps to give it that somewhat deeper sound. Sound tests are going to be at the end of this video, but for now, let's start by talking about my favorite thing in this keyboard: the build quality and customization. Rarely do I see modern keyboards cheap out in this part nowadays. This keyboard is fully made out of CNC aluminum with a crystal looking silver plate in my black colored model. This comes with different color options, so don't worry, but I just love this black color. This feels absolutely solid, with a bit of heft when you carry it. This clover that you see in the center actually houses the dongle. We don't talk about where the dongle went. While this design is super simple compared to something like the Record Atlas V2, which I wish to review once I get more money, it nails it basically flawlessly, with no issues. My only complaint is the location of the on and off switch, which wouldn't be a problem if I could plop the keycaps out, no worries, but that means I gotta bring this keycap puller everywhere. Now, this keyboard doesn't just nail the looks, but also the customization. In the software side, we get QMK and VES support, which is really sweet, but on the hardware side, I mean, I just gotta demonstrate it first. Yes, gone are the days where you need a screwdriver, because all you have to do is pluck the case out of the keyboard, which is very, very convenient and easy to do. This is possible with what is called a ball catch system, and honestly, this is such a win feature. Now, let's look at the inside, and as you can see, there's my tape mod, which I did a while back to make my keyboard sound deeper, but I honestly love the stock sound already. This is due to the keyboard being filled to the brim with foams. IXP foam, Poron foam, and a bunch of acoustic pads. This is levels of attention to the sound of a keyboard that I would have expected from a $200 kit before, but here we are. We can also see the gaskets in the keyboard, although I unfortunately cannot showcase the flex since I placed some mods that remove the gasket performance. I'm not gonna disassemble the keyboard too much since I'm still gonna use this, but basically the PCB has a bunch of flex cuts and doesn't support screw-in stabilizers. I found the stock stabs to be 100% fine with me, and I never used screw-in stabs yet, but if you do want that option, you'd unfortunately have to look elsewhere. Putting the keyboard back in, let's talk about the RGB, which uses south-facing LEDs. Pretty nice. Aside from no interference, I personally just prefer south-facing LEDs because the keyboard looks more bright from the front, and that's where we look, so that's all great. Overall, this is an outstanding value keyboard, bringing the whole package to the table at a very fair cost, with only 2 very minor compromises. I'm 100% satisfied with owning this keyboard as my main, and I recommend you check it out in the description below. Now for the sound tests, I'll be showcasing the stock and modded version of the keyboard with 5 layers of tape mod by playing my favorite Roblox obby, Tower Fell, as well as typing some test sentences. So yeah, enjoy. And hey, I hope you liked my very first keyboard review. Sorry if the B-roll was really low quality, alright? I'm filming this on a phone.